Hello everyone. Welcome to this lecture series on hybrid electric vehicle. My name is Prakash Shakti and I will be guiding you regarding this particular topic, which is your hybrid electric vehicle. So in this session, we will learn what a hybrid cars or hybrid electric vehicle and why it is important for our environment and the future, and how the main parts work together. So that also we will see, and we will see how the mixture of engine and electric powers help us to save the fuel, and it will also reduce the running cost and make our driving very smart and smoothly. So the aim is to explain this concept in easy and simple way, okay, so that everyone can understand it. So now here we are going to understand that why this hybrid electric vehicles were created, okay, and what problems did they solve. So nothing is invented just for the fun. Every new technology comes because we have some problem that need a solutions. So today we will understand what problems lead to development of hybrid electric vehicles. So just think like this, okay, when it's get too hot in the summer season, so we invented a air AC, okay, and when traveling a long distance become a difficult, we invented a train and the planes. So similarly, when cars started creating big problems for our world, we invented the hybrid electric vehicles to solve them. So let us understand what these problems are and how hybrid vehicles help to solve them. So this will be a very interesting and important for our future. So here in this image you can see a complete cycle of problem that lead to the development of hybrid vehicles, and let me explain each of them, okay, one by one. So here the problem one, which is your extreme gasoline requirement, means too much of petrol and diesel, okay. So which means we need a lot of petrol and diesels, okay, and we can see a petrol pump nozzle is also and a rising bar here in this particular image, okay. So this shows that the people are using more and more petrol and diesels every day. So why is this happening? So more and more people are buying cars every year. So in India, lack of the new cars are sold every month, and every car needs a petrol or a diesel to run. Whereas industries, truck, buses, everyone need this fuel, and our cities are growing, so more vehicles are needed. So what is the problem? So the problem is limited supply. Limited supply. And another one is your import dependency. Then after economic burden and future shortage. Okay. So this because of these are the big problem which we need to handle. Okay. Now if we talk about some real life example, so imagine your family has a small kitchen and gases cylinder that needs to serve 50 people instead of 5 people, so it will finish very quickly, okay, and you will need to buy more cylinders frequently. So that exactly happens with the petrol and diesel in this particular world, okay. Now the second problem is what? The increase in the fuel price, okay. So the increase in the fuel price means the petrol and diesel becoming more expensive. So the here you can see this particular green arrow, it is showing as a fuel increasing, okay. So this affect everyone. So why are this price increasing? So depends upon the more demands, okay. When people's more people's want to something, the price will goes up. Then after limited supply and international markets, then after currency problem. So these are some problems for the price rising, okay. So how does this affect the common people? because they have to use daily, so their daily budget will affect. Okay, then transportation cost. If bus and taxis, auto fares will increase. Good prices will increase when the transport become expensive. The vegetable and grocery also becomes costly. So business also impact due to this particular thing. So if we talk about the India, so remember when the petrol was 70 rupees per liter a few years ago, okay, now it is over 100 in the many cities. So this rupees 30 increases affect the everyone, and from a student going to college to a businessman running this company, all are affected by this particular price increasing. Okay, the third problem is your global warming. Okay, earth is getting hotter. So here in this image you can understand how the earth is becoming hot day by day. Okay, so what are the cause of global warming? The first reason is your CO2 emission. Okay, and the second one is your greenhouse effect. Okay, so what will happen in CO2 emissions? So when we burn petrol or a diesel, they release a harmful gases like CO2, which is carbon dioxide. CO2 means carbon dioxide. Okay, and in the greenhouse effect, these gases trap between in our atmosphere, making earth hotter. Then after, the third condition is your vehicle pollution. So cars, truck and buses contribute a lot to this problem. Now, how bad is this problem? Like, because of this, what is happening to our atmosphere? So climate is getting changed. Health issue is there, means air pollution causing a breathing problem, especially for the children and older peoples. Agricultural problems is also rising. Natural disaster is coming. You can see daily news, more floods, drought and extreme weather events. Okay, so these all are causing due to this particular global warming effect. Now, in if we see the simple, if I will tell you in the simple explanation, so think of Earth like a room. Okay, suppose this Earth is a room. Okay, and the room is getting keep hotter and hotter. Okay, making it uncomfortable for everyone living inside. So all humans and animals, even the plant, are getting affected because they will not uh, live in this particular hot room. Okay, or we can say the hot earth. Now the fourth problem is your CO2 emissions. Okay, CO2 emissions. So this is a harmful gases release, already we have discussed. Now, so here what are the CO2 emissions? So every liter of petrol burned and produce about 2.3 kg of CO2 gases. Okay, and this invisible gases goes into the air we breathe, and it doesn't appear quickly. It stays our atmosphere for a year. It will stay in your atmosphere for a long time. So how it will impact? So it will impact the air quality, health problem, children's health, and reduce the life quality. Now the solution is what? Here a small solution is by development of HEV, means hybrid electric vehicle. So how do hybrid vehicles solve this problem? So it will reduce the fuel requirement, means hybrid car use both petrol and electricity. So in the city drive they mostly use the electric motor. This means less petrol consumption, and some hybrid cars give the 25 to 30 kilometer per liter instead of 15 to 20 kilometer. Okay, and it will save the money on your fuels, means less petrol used, less money will be spent. Then after, electricity is cheaper than the petrol and maintenance cost is also lower. So long term saving for car owners. Now the third one is your reducing the global warming. So less fuel burning and less heat productions. Okay, and electric motor produce no heat, no pollutions, and help in the cooling down the earth's atmosphere, and it is also contributing to the climate changes solutions. Okay, and the fourth is your lower CO2 emissions, means electric motor produce zero emissions even when using petrol engines. Okay, so hybrid cars are more efficient. So overall, 30 to 50 percentage less pollution will be generated, okay, compared to the normal car. And the atmosphere will be your clean, okay, there will be no pollutant present in your atmosphere. Now the next thing is driving trend, okay, how this driving trend is affected. So people changing their mindset, okay, people now want a fuel efficient cars, environmental friendly car. Then after, health awareness is growing and cost saving has become more important. So why are people changing? So if we talk about their people changing, so the education's economic pressure, government support, and technology availability. So based on this particular points, people minds are getting changed. And if we talk about the real life stories related to this examples, so Japan Toyota Prius was the world first popular hybrid car. Then after, countries like Norway have most cars as a electric or a hybrid, and cities with a hybrid buses have cleaner airs. And in India, Maruti Suzuki, Toyota, Honda now sells hybrid cars in the Indian market. And government is also promoting to this electric and hybrid vehicles. And many states government gives subsidies for buying such cars. Okay, so these are the driving trends, how it is changing. Now, suppose what will happen if you switch to hybrid vehicles? So environment will be benefit, economic will be benefit, social benefits will be there. So okay, so this is all about your development of HEV. So now many people what they think that hybrid vehicles are new concept, but there is a basic concept, like it is as old as your first car was invented. Okay, so in this video we will learn how early hybrids were meant, not just to save the fuel but to support the petrol engines and give a better performance. Okay, so when the automobile first appeared or invented, it looks for the way to make engine smoother and more powerful. And the idea of adding an electric motor alongside the engine was born, not only for saving the fuels but to support the engine. Okay, it will support the engine. How it will support? So it will support with the, like, first one is your vehicle efficiency. So early cars had engines that run like at a low speed, and auxiliary electric motor helped to fill in the power gaps for the smooth driving. Now second thing is your performance. Okay, so it will improve the performance by adding the extra torque from the motors. Cars could accelerate faster and tackle hills more easily without needing a much larger engine. Okay, then after, third condition is your decreasing the pollution. So even though fuel economy was secondary goal, running the motor at a low uh, load cut engine, idling and rough operations, okay, and slightly reducing and smoky exhaust from the engine. So these are the based on this, earlier vehicles are getting supported. Okay, so how engine worked during that time? So imagine you have a small helper battery and motor in your car. So it will give you the start assistance. So when the driver pressed the accelerator, the electric motor kicked into the help and start the engine and spinning more quickly than the starter motor. And low speed driving condition, in the slow traffic the engine often struggle. The electric motor shared the load part to keep the speed steady and reduce the stalling. And during the hill climbing, it will instead of making a bigger or heavier engine, the small motors give extra power to push when it is needed. So this combined power meant better pickup and hill performance also. So this is all about the how we are now previously the engines are getting support by the addition of electric motor. Now in this particular slide we will understand how hybrid vehicles are different from normal petrol cars and pure electric vehicles. Okay, so what are the different types of vehicles? First we will understand. Okay, so the first type is your conventional IC engine. Okay, IC engine vehicle. Okay, so here we can see a normal petrol or a diesel engine, this particular image. Okay, so this is what we call as an IC engine, which means internal combustion engine. So let me tell you about its good points and which what are some not a good point for this particular engine. So these cars give a good performance when we drive them, and they can go very long distance without stopping for a fuel, and we can also find petrol pumps everywhere, okay, easily. So these are some benefits. Now if we talk about some like which are not a good point or disadvantage, so these cars use too much fuel, so our pockets get empty quickly. Okay, and they create a pollutions in our environment, which is very bad for our health and natures. Now the second type is your battery power vehicle. Okay, battery power vehicle. So this particular image is showing a battery pack. Okay, so here we can see an electric car with a big battery pack. This is a battery pack which is used in the electric car. Okay, this type of car we can use. Okay, so these cars run only on the electricity stored in the battery. So let's discuss about some advantages. So these cars use energy very well. Okay, so they are very efficient and they create a zero pollutions, which means clean air for the everywhere. Okay, and they are very quiet when running. We cannot hear the sound also from this particular vehicles. And there are some disadvantages also. So the distance they can go on one charge is less compared to the petrol cars. Okay, and the battery capacity is still not as high as we want. Okay, and charging stations are not still available everywhere. So these are the some disadvantages related to this particular EV. Okay, now what is hybrid electric vehicle? The third one, hybrid electric vehicle. So a hybrid electric vehicle is like having the best of the both for the worlds. And here in this image, you can understand that this is having one primary source, which is your fuel. Okay, this particular portion is your fuel area, and secondary source is the battery which is available somewhere here. Okay, so this is basically called as a hybrid electric vehicle. So now we will discuss more about it in the upcoming lectures. Okay, so one thing I want to tell you here, why hybrid cars are special. So here you can see the main advantages is written in our this particular slide. Okay, so hybrid electric vehicles have the advantages of both IC engine and electric vehicle, which means better fuel saving than normal petrol cars, less pollution than normal petrol cars, longer driving range than pure electric cars, and no worry about finding the charging stations like pure electric vehicle. So this is all about the a very short introduction about hybrid electric vehicle. So now in this particular slide, we will discuss about the important topic, which is batteries in a car. Okay, but not just any batteries. We will learn how batteries work in normal cars today and how they will work in the future hybrid and electric vehicles. So here the first thing is, what does automotive applications of a batteries? What does automotive application of batteries? So when we say automotive application, we simply means how batteries are used in cars, just like we use batteries in our mobile phones, torch and remote controls. Okay, remote control cars. Okay, and also need a batteries. So these batteries we are using, but the way batteries are used in the cars have changed a lot over the time. So if we talk about here the first part, which is your conventional IC engine vehicle. Okay, means nowadays vehicles. Okay, so what is the main job of battery in the normal cars? So it is used to starting the engine. So the first job is to start the engine. Okay, this type of battery will be present, and the most important job is to start the engine. When you turn the key or the press the start button, the battery gives power to the starter motor, and the starter motor turns the engine and makes it to start. And think of it like giving the first push to the start a bicycle. Okay, now this battery is again used to running the helper system. So the battery also runs other things in the car when the engine is off. So for example, your light, radio, AC and wipers. And these are called as auxiliary batteries. Okay, this is called as auxiliary battery, which means helper system. Now the third portion part, what it will do cranking power, or it will provide cranking power. So cranking power means the first turning on the engine to start it. The battery must give strong power for a few seconds to start the engine. This is called cranking ampere, the amount of power needed to start. So what type of batteries is used? Okay, in the normal cars. So in the normal cars, basically we will use a low voltage battery, which is your 12 volt. Okay, and it will be having lead acid battery. This type of battery will be lead acid type battery, and which is made with the lead plates and acid. And these batteries are very heavy but cheap. The cost will be cheap, and it is reliable. Okay, so how does these batteries get charged in the normal cars? Okay, so the battery get charged by something called as an alternator. This one. The alternator is like a generator that is driven by the engine. When the engine runs the alternator, it will create electricity and charge the battery. It is like a cyclic process. The battery starts the engine, then the engine charges the battery. Okay, so it will be like a cyclic process. It will start this one, and again it will charge the battery. In between there will be engine. Okay, so through engine it will run its alternator, and again it will charge the battery. So if we talk about the types of batteries, so there is flooded type, which is having a liquid inside and need water to be added sometimes. Then after gel battery, which is your having a gel like acid and no need to add water, but the cost is more. And the third one is AGM, absorbent glass material. So most advanced and last longer, and the cost is high. Now let's discuss about the new technology, okay, which is related to hybrid electric vehicle. So the main power source is your in this particular vehicle is uh, like in the normal cars, petrol and diesel is the main power source. Okay, but in this type of vehicle, the battery is the main power source. Okay, and in hybrid electric cars, the battery becomes the main power source for moving the car. And the battery does not help to start the engine, it will move the entire car, means it will work all the system which is present in that particular car. So this type of battery will be high capacity and high voltage type battery. So these batteries are much more powerful than the normal batteries. So instead of 12 volt, they can be approx 200 to 800 volts. Okay, and they store much more electricity, like comparing a small torch battery with a power bank. Now what is the new battery technology here? So instead of old lead acid, they are using a lithium ion batteries. Lithium ion battery. Okay, so these are the same type used in your mobile phone but much bigger than and stronger. So lithium ion batteries are lighter and last longer and charge very fast. So there are some different type of charging methods. So these batteries are charged through AC supply. Okay, through your AC supply, and or by using a power grid. Okay, you can plug the car into the wall socket or the charging station to charge your vehicle, and some cars can also charge the battery while driving, which is called as regenerative braking method. Okay, regenerative braking. Now, what does the future batteries look like? How it will look like? So here in this image, you can understand that many small cell will be arranged together. Okay, and these cells are packed in the strong case, and all cells work together to give up high power. Okay, and it's like having hundreds of mobile phone batteries working as a team. So this way they all will be arranged in your electric car. Okay, so this is all about the basic introduction of battery type used in your normal car versus hybrid electric car. So here we will discuss about the HEV layout. Okay, when we say the layout, we mean how the different parts are arranged inside the hybrid car. So just like in our house, we have a kitchen, bedroom, and living rooms in the different places. Similarly, a hybrid car has its engine, battery, motor, and other parts arranged in a special way. So here you can see this particular images. So this shows the complete HEV layout, this particular image. Okay, with all the important parts. Now, the first we will understand the battery and electric motor section. First, this one. Okay. So here the battery pack. This is like a heart of electric system. It will store the electricity just like your mobile phone battery. But this battery is much bigger and more powerful than your normal batteries. Okay, and it gives a power to the electric motor. As you can see in this particular image, this battery is connected with the controller, and then it is going to your motor. Okay, now electric motor, so this is connected to the wheels through a belt drive system, as here it is mentioned. And when the battery gives power, this motor makes the wheel turn, and very quiet and give a instant power. And you can see how it is connected to the wheels and tire in this particular image. Now the third one is your power controller, which is an important part in your battery electric system. So this is the like the brain and control the electric motor. Okay, and it decide how much power to give to the motor. So think of it like an accelerator pedal for the electric parts. Now, if we talk about this conventional IC engine, this one. So here we have internal combustion engine. Okay, this is a normal petrol or a diesel engine, and it works just like the engine in a regular cars, and it will burns the fuel to create the power and connected to the transmission systems. Okay, here in this image you can see it is connected with transmission system by uh, in between there will be clutch mechanism. Okay, and another thing is your fuel system, which will store the petrol or a diesel and feeds the fuel to the engine when needed, and works like a traditional car fuel system. Now here this particular image, this is the complete layout of hybrid electric vehicle. Okay, so the key component are your engine. Okay, and this is our petrol or a diesel engine. Here in this image it is representing your four cylinder engine. Okay, because here you can see four circles are there, which is your one cylinder, two cylinder, three and four. So produce a power by a burning of fuels. Now motor generator. Okay, this particular this one. So this part can work in two way. As a motor, use battery power to move the car, or as a generator to create the electricity to the charge the battery. The third one is your battery, which stores the electric energy, gets charged when the car is running and provides power to the electric motor. Then there will be one hybrid controller, okay, hybrid control module. So this is the main computer brain decide when to use engine and when to use motor, or when to use both the system, and controls the everything automatically. And another one important thing is your software applications. Okay, so this is a special computer programs to help the car make a smart decision, and it will monitor all the system continuously. Now let's talk about the transmission. So it will transfer the power from the engine and motor to the wheels and help the changes speed and the torque, and it is connected to all the four wheels. Okay, so this is all about basic idea of HEV layouts. Okay, so now here we will see how HEV is using two energy sources and the two energy converter to move a car. So what is first we should know what is a hybrid electric vehicle. So already we understand something about hybrid electric vehicle, that it is a combination of two energy sources, okay, and which is used to power the wheels, and it does this by using a two energy converter. Okay, so the first one is this energy converter and second one is this one, and that changes energy into the motions. So think of it as a two engines working together and smoothly. So the two energy sources, here you can see the two energy sources, the first and second. So the energy source one could be the fuel tank, maybe it will be your fuel tank, okay, and holding petrol or a diesel into it. And the second energy source is your battery pack, okay, battery pack. So it will store the electricity, and each source stores or carries its own type of energy. One holds fuel and other holds the electric charge. And the two energy converter, the energy converter one takes the fuel as an input source and turn it into the mechanical power. This is our normal internal combustion engine, okay, IC engine. And energy converter 2, it can be this will take the electricity from the battery pack and then it will turns it into mechanical power. This is our electric motor or generator. So I will type mg, okay, motor generator. Now the converts changes stored energy into the motions that can drive the wheels. So how the power flows in this particular explanation. So here you can see the red arrows, which is related to the traction power flow. The blue arrows, which is related to the charging power flow, all this area. And the black arrow, it is related to the energy means recuperation power flow. Okay, means it will absorb the energy from it and it will store that particular energy. When the car is slowed down, the electric converter will work as a generator and recovers the energy from it, from the car. Okay, so in the simple terms, the traction, both the engine and the motor sends power forward to the wheels, and charging means the engine can charge the battery while running, and regeneration means when the braking, the electricity motor captures energy and send it back to the battery pack. Okay, so let's understand something related to series system and parallel system, how this powertrain 1 and powertrain 2 work together. Okay, so series system 1, this one, okay, so this will be a series system let's say 1. So the engine only charges the battery. The electric motor alone drives the wheel in this condition. In the parallel system, what will happen? Both the engine and motor can drive the wheels together and or separately. Okay. So why this concept is beneficial? So it has a better efficiency, improved performance, and energy saving, as well as our clean environmental. Okay, atmosphere will be clean. Now here we will understand some conditions in hybrid electric vehicles. So the condition 1, which is engine alone in the propelling mode. Okay, so in this condition only the petrol and the diesel engine drives the wheel. The battery and the motor stays off, and this happen at the steady state or is a high speed or when the battery is low. Then in the condition 2, the pure electric drive mode, only the electric motor moves the car, the engine is off and used in the city traffic or short trips to save the fuel and reduce the noise. Then after condition 3, which is related to hybrid traction mode, so in this mode both engine and electric motor will work together to move the cars, and the plus sign in this diagram shows their combined power. Okay, this one, and it will happens during the acceleration or hill climbing. Okay, now the fourth is your regenerative braking condition. So when you press the brake, the motor act as a generator. Kinetic energy from the wheels goes back to the battery. Okay, from this black arrow you can understand, black line. So this saves the energy that would be wasted as a heat. Then after condition number 5, so it is engine charges the battery. So the engine runs but does not drive the wheels. Instead it powers the generator to charge the battery. Okay, and used when the battery low level is low and extra range is required. Now the next condition number 6. So both regenerative braking and engine charges the battery. So braking recovers the energy into the battery, and the engine generate extra power to charge and maximize the battery recharge during the downhills and slow driving condition. Okay, then after condition 7 is related to your engine propels the vehicle and charge the batteries. So in this condition the engine drives the wheels, as you can understand by this red line. Okay, and occurs when cruising at the moderate speed and the battery needs to top up. So during that time this will be activated. Now condition number 8. So engine charges the battery and battery supplies the power. So in this condition the engine charges the battery. At the same time the battery sends power to the motor to help drive the wheels, and a split flow between the charging and the traction will happen. Okay, now the last condition is power flow into the batteries. So any power which is not used by the motor is sent back to the battery. This is pure uh, charging mode and can happen via engine or regenerative braking. So we need to ensure the battery stay topped up. So this is all about the conditions in the hybrid electric vehicles, and we have completed the first introduction part of hybrid electric vehicle. Okay, so thank you so much for joining this particular video lecture series.